This is Insurance and Finance live from the headquarters of Digital Scouting in Hamburg, Germany, and from the stage where the sun always shines. Today, we have a superstar joining our show, entrepreneur, sales legend, social media legend, best-selling author, real estate mogul. I'm super happy and honored to have Grant Cardone on our show. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
One question our audience will, love me to ask you is, you're not only a sales, legend, but you have built a sales machine. You're super successful in all your companies. And I personally have, consumed a lot of books and trainings, what you do. But there is a slight difference to the sales coaching I received when I was an insurance sales agent. Mostly that were people never sold anything or were not very successful to that. So my question to you is, especially for all the executives listening right now, how would you build a sales department of an insurer today, and what would you recommend insurance and finance professionals how to sell better?
Well, I am very much a proponent of a very direct, very transparent and honest sales approach, saying, hey, my intention is for you to buy my product. It's going to take 3 minutes for you to understand it. This is the price of it. This is what it will do for you. And I'm going to expand the number of people that can actually hear that message and not depend on tricks, sales tricks or gimmicks or any shortcuts in order to sell my product. I've raised $500 million in 2 years online, direct to consumers without using banks.
Yeah.
I'm selling a similar product to insurance, they're investments. And it's a very direct approach. It's very honest, very transparent. And it's not we don't have a long sales cycle. I also sell to companies, direct to companies. We sell a very expensive product there that would typically take other companies 6 months to 9 months to close a cycle that takes us 6 weeks or less. Yeah. Using a very similar process. It comes straight out of a book called Sell or Be Sold and The Closers Survival.
I read it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. I think what I take away is, first of all, keep your sales cycle short, have a lot of touch points with your clients, say the price. You wouldn't believe how many insurance and bank people do not say what the people actually need to pay for that in the first few meetings. And I actually wrote it up on my whiteboard above my computer, a sentence that from you: pick up the phone. It's really, really simple, but nowadays pick up the phone and don't do one call, do 10 calls. And again, these things really, really work. I really take away that from you. Another question is, at our consulting company, but a lot of sales managers, they got criticized when they get successful, a little bit success. They're pushing, they're working, weekends, hardcore, massive actions, also something you propose. What would you say, people like that, when they get criticized by their, surroundings as, slow down, you work too hard?
Well, it's not, it's completely ridiculous that you would slow down because you work too hard. No one works too hard. People are just not productive. So if you're productive, what you should do is work more. You want to lean into it. When something starts working, you don't stop then. If I'm trying to move a car out of the ditch and it starts actually making movement, you don't take a break now. You actually complete the transaction. Once you complete the transaction and figure out how to do something, you ought to help other people move their car or move their button or move their graph. So when I sell something, when our company sells something, we don't celebrate selling something. That's what was supposed to happen. We then pick up the phone and call somebody else. Sales is a contact sport. If you're going to scale your business, you got to make contact with more people more often. And hard work does not come when you're successful. It does not feel like work anymore. It feels like I want to do this because I'm winning.
And it's really funny what we did when COVID hit Germany. Actually, we tried to do the basic things for our families and all the colleagues around the world. But then we went into hardcore working mode. Well, a lot of people did Corona vacation. We didn't do it, and we came out super strong. And a lot of our clients did the same. And I think that's the secret. And I really, really take away that from me. Let's talk real estate and wealth, because that's also a hot topic from me personally. And when I have the interview with you pick your brain. That's very selfish, but I think that's very, very nice. Looking at your companies and your success, again, super successful. You, I think, have unlocked the secret of wealth. I have sometimes the impression, and you come from very humble beginnings, and that's also what you share in your books and your stories a lot. Isn't it ironic that a lot of people that make a lot of money have a very low net worth? And what would you recommend people like that?
Well, I would recommend to people that they need to quit saving cash and money and paper, fiat paper, and start buying assets. So every day I wake up, every morning I come to my office, I look at how much cash I have. I want to convert cash to assets, period. End of story. That includes my business, by the way. I have 5 businesses here. They make a lot of money. They produce tremendous cash above what it costs to operate, advertise, employees, payroll, etc. I take the extra money, the surplus money, after I invest in my own business and expand my business through COVID or whatever it might be. The rest of the money goes into assets. So every year I want to accumulate assets that are actually independent from my main business where I earn money, invest that money into assets that produce money long after my other businesses will no longer work. Every business will fail at some point.
And
but there are assets on planet Earth that will continue to exist for long periods of time, and they're called real estate.
I love it, because by accident we have one of the most successful TikTok accounts on finance in Germany. It was just an accident, and you wouldn't believe how many people really doubt that and they say, you know, and do like crazy on my Excel sheet, I'm rich, but you never act. And it's really about putting cash into assets that produce little babies. And we do this, and I think it's not hurting us. But I don't want to share too many secrets of digital scouting, our family company.
Well, look, I started with we have $2.3 billion worth of real estate. That if
little is behind, little.
if something happened to me, it's still going to be $2.3 billion worth of real assets. Like
intergenerational wealth. It's really impressive.
Yeah, really. And when Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all the LinkedIn, when YouTube, when they're gone, and they will disappear. Those real assets that have tenants that provide cash flow that is going to appreciate, particularly now that we have currency being printed around the world at record levels.
Insane.
Dude, like this is, I thought I was a genius investing in real estate 5 years ago. Now I know for sure I'm a genius.
And the funny thing is, if you look at the evaluation of real estate, it grows, and it's like you make money in your sleep. I think it's also inflation, but I think that's too nerdy. And I have another nerd question, because you're super bold on sales, massive action, 10x everything, super energetic. But one thing, 10x, really, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But what you say in real estate is, use equity, put equity in your home. Do not have 100%, 120% loans on it.
Well,
what do you say about it? A lot of people say I'm crazy. I should keep more cash and put less cash into my deals. What do you say to that?
Well, cash is garbage. It's cash is trash. It's garbage. It's like, oh my God, you need to get rid of cash. You do not want to be liquid. You want to be illiquid. This is it's an old myth that you want to be liquid. I do not want to be liquid. I want to be illiquid. The people that get richest on this planet do not have cash sitting around. That's not how they get rich. They end up with cash later after they're rich, and they're trying to get rid of it. So the banks have made people believe that they should be liquid when they shouldn't. Number one. Number two, you don't want cash. Number two, nobody should be buying a house.
Yes.
Nobody. You should rent where you live, and you should own assets that pay your rent.
Yes.
And so, I just say, I don't know if you guys say this in Germany, but I like big assets.
All right. Before we go down there, because my wife's probably going to watch this, Undercover Billionaire, you went zero in the middle of the pandemic, when the world was shutting down. And it was always a long wish of yours to become to be part of a national TV show, and you're now not part of but a super big one, Undercover Undercover Billionaire, second season. How did that happen? And what can we learn from it?
Yeah, so Discovery Channel, which this is going to be an international show, by the way, not just an American show. You guys will see it in Germany. It's called Undercover Billionaire. It drops Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in America. And basically, they called me in January and said, hey, would you be willing to do a show called Undercover Billionaire? You get dropped off in a city with no money, no credit, can't use your credit, can't call your bank, can't call your buddies, your friends. We're going to take away your phone. You won't know where you're going, and you can't use your name. And I said, okay, good. What am I supposed to do? They're like, you got to build $1 million business in 90 days. I'm like, all right, let's go. Okay, let's do it. Do they speak English where I'm going? And they're like, yeah, they speak English. I said, good. Okay, well, so let's do it. I said, but look, here's the deal. I called the president of Discovery Channel and said, I need a phone call with the president. And I said, look, I'll do the deal, but I want to build a $10 million business in 90 days. I'll pay you $1 million if I don't hit the million. I'll pay you $1 million in cash. I want to bring the $1 million to your office and drop it off in 4 bags. And she's like, oh my God, you're a character. So this was pre-COVID that I said all this noisy American stuff. But you're going to get to see me. You're going to get to follow me for 12 weeks. The public will get to watch me for 12 weeks. Cool. Become another person, lose my money, all my money, my plane, the cars, all the fancy stuff that I have, all my comfort and my posh life. And I got to start over with a new name and build a business. So that'll happen. And I think, I tell you what, it's going to show people. It's going to show people big dreams are alive as long as you breathe life into them.
Yes. Through massive action, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the show. By the way, maybe one thing I always sell, and we never do promotions of any kind here, but I tell every salesperson in Europe, if you do not know sell or be sold 10x rule, or if you're not first, you're last, you're missing out your job. And I'm pretty sure a lot of salespeople should watch it, even if you're not into sales, because everybody's in sales at some point. Make sure to watch it. I'm super excited about it. I also have a personal note, because as I mentioned, we apply a lot of your tactics and they work. That's really, really cool. One of the most favorite was in January, we changed our payment system and now we get paid up front. Then COVID hit. That was quite comfortable, I have to say, with a lot of cash for the whole of the year. So thank you for that. And the whole team thanks you, by the way. And we thought about what can we do for you? And let's imagine COVID is over, and your next 10x growth con is there. And normally we do also a lot of speaking stuff and charge like a ridiculous amount for it. But if you have an insurance track, or you want some European perspective, or you want some media, or whatever it is, let us know. We will try to support you as much as we can. But my wife told me there's one condition. She would love to meet Elena and say hi.
She will meet Elena. And rather than you guys coming over here, I want to come to Germany. I love your country. We have not spent any time there. We've flown through there a couple of times, but every time I've been there, I've been impressed with the people, and the amount of order in your country is just sets a good example for the rest of the world. Would love to do that. Hey, I really appreciate you, Doc.
Thank you very much. I'm a salesperson after all. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you to the whole team making it possible. We will push it as crazy as possible. And again, thank you very much, and see you around.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.